Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. Silver's price is highly anticipated, especially in the next coming year of 2020. So I found an article from capital.com. Link will be in the description, talking about the silver price forecast for 2020 and beyond. Will this precious commodity fit into your portfolio? If you still are on the fence, if you have not jumped the gun with precious metals yet, gold and silver are a great way to preserve your wealth against inflation. Now, not only that, it also has intrinsic value with many benefits and fundamental uses in the everyday world, especially in the technological era that we're advancing in. So right now, silver is around $17.50, actually a little lower than that, but it's a great time to get your gold and silver for cheap, as 2020 has a lot of things at hand that will definitely affect prices, including the 2020 presidential election. It's a safe haven investment, which is definitely going to drive people when there's a lot of chaos, a lot of controversy in the economy, to go to this precious metal. But anyways, like I said, the link will be in the description, so let's jump into it. Precious metals, including silver, gold, and platinum, have been go-to assets for centuries. In different shapes and forms, they are continuously attracting investors from all around the world looking to diversify their investments of regular stocks and bonds. Do you also want to add some silver to shine your portfolio, but not sure how this commodity is set to perform in the next few years? Wondering how high silver will go by 2020 beyond? This article is for you. So, this is, they're talking about JP Morgan and the manipulation, which I've mentioned a lot, which I'm not going to go over that video, but this is the basics. What you need to know about silver price trends. Price of silver tends to move similarly to that of gold, especially when economic performance turns for the worse, which I just previously mentioned. During times of political turbulence and economic uncertainty, the prices of these base metals, such as zinc and copper, drop due to the contracting industrial demand. On the other hand, the prices of silver and gold skyrocket, as investors usually cling to them to hedge the risks and strengthen their investment portfolios. Both silver and gold prices are often fluctuating in tandem. It is rather rare to see gold falling and silver rising, or vice versa, at the same time. They usually do, by the way, this is a side point, they usually do correspond. They're correlating to each other. A great way to see where silver's price is headed is look at gold, because gold is silver's big brother, so silver usually follows suit a couple weeks or a couple months afterwards. But anyways, it goes on to say, commonly, the long-term trends for both precious metals tend to mirror each other, although silver value experiences volatility more frequently, particularly on the upside. Generally, gold sets more attention in the mainstream financial press and is often recommended by many investment advisors. However, when you read about gold picking up steam and growing in value, there's a very good chance that silver is making similar moves. And if history is any example, those moves in silver price are often larger in percentages. And I've mentioned that, and I actually went over the statistics in that a couple days ago, showing that gold's usually around 17% and silver's it was at 32% over like the last decade or so. It's really interesting. If you guys haven't checked that video out, I highly recommend it. So, silver price analysis from 1970 to 2019, through hardship to the stars and back. Now, we've seen silver go from $50 in 2011. It was $50 in the 80s. We also saw $19.50 silver a couple months ago. Then we see $15 silver. And then we see $18 silver. It's up and down. But if you can learn how to apply this chart analysis, the chart perspective point of view from it, and also incorporate that with the economic things going on, whether it's U.S.-China trade negotiations, the protests in Hong Kong, whatever the case is, it can easily be predicted on where prices are most likely going to go, especially using the gold to silver ratio to your advantage as well. So anyways, to better navigate the silver price trend, it is important to know how this commodity has performed in the past. Here is what the historical price chart from 1970 to 2019 looks like. So, throughout history, as a traded commodity, silver has seen many ups and downs, reflecting a variety of economic and political events. On January 18, 1980, the precious metal was at its premium, hitting $49.45 an ounce, the highest silver price to date. It quickly reversed, and the bullish trend lost most of its value from falling $3.55 an ounce February 1991. But we also do know in 2011, silver was also $50. Things became better after the financial crisis of 2008, when many have chosen to invest in both gold and silver, making these commodities one of the most popular markets of the past decade. This in turn helped silver to surge one more time, hitting the mark of $48.70 in April 2011. Shortly, its price entered another downtrend, experiencing unprecedented volatility and continuous change in investors' sentiment. And this is also when a huge crash happens, like right here. This was in the 80s. So obviously when it shoots up this high, that's usually a sign there's going to be a huge crash happening. You want there to be a gradual approach. You see how it shot up really fast and then shot down really fast? You don't want it to do that. You want it to slowly, gradually ascend, so there's time for it to build some stability, build some legs, build a foundation underneath it. You don't want it to just explode. And actually in 2011, a lot of people thought silver was going to keep going higher. So during the last year, the gray metal had lost much of its shine. While 2018 was expected to be a great year for precious metals, instead it ended up being a down year for many assets across the board, from bonds to stocks to silver and gold. The silver market faced a challenging environment, weighing on its price dynamics. The highest had gone was $17.60 an ounce. Silver was hit hard, dropping 9% over the course of the year. November 14th, 2018, its price fell below the $14 mark. Now, this is also when cryptocurrency was booming as well, though, so you have to remember that. That's a great thing to think about when you're looking at the whys and the hows. Also looking at the dollar index as well. Right now, silver is still shocking investors. I just made a video about this earlier today, because stock markets are breaking record highs, but the prices are not dropping to that much of an extent. Usually, if the stock markets were setting record highs, people are taking money out of precious metals, but for some reason, they are still holding some foundation, some stability, which is really good news for precious metals. So its performance during the summer has investors all excited about the future of this white metal, reflected in an 80% increase in bullish positions among futures investors. Is the rise price only a foreshadowing of what's next to come? Well, many silver-focused investors believe that a bull market for silver is possible, and that its price could rise even higher by the end of this year. According to the chart, silver has gained upside momentum. So, what factors to watch when predicting future silver prices in 2020 and further? Before diving into the silver price forecast in 2020, it's important to understand what actually drives the price of this commodity. And I actually think it's more of an asset. It's used more for technology. Emerging economic and geopolitical turbulence, including the ongoing U.S.-China trade war, the Brexit saga, rising tensions in the Middle East, and the fears of slowing global economy, have triggered many investors to take a step towards a rather reliable asset, commodities driving silver prices up. With the decreasing amount of silver being mined annually, the metal is already in short supply and above ground. Besides increasing industrial demand for silver is rapidly depleting the existing reserves. Adding the rising demand for its international investors, conditions are rather perfect to see gains in the silver price in the next months and years. Therefore, even if a slowing global economy was to decrease industrial demand for silver, the high interest from investors would likely make up for that. And this was a great paragraph. This paragraph literally broke down the most simplified but to the point reasons why silver prices have so much potential and why prices are where they are. I mean, they mentioned so many things. It was actually, that article really is like the main points of what I try to get to in my videos. But anyways, in regards to supply, in the last year, the top 3 silver producers, Mexico, Peru, and Chile, which I always also mention, according to the latest World Silver Survey published by the Silver Institute, the silver market saw a 3% decrease in supply in 2018 amid reduced mined scrap output, leading to a physical market deficit of 29.2 million ounces. When trying to understand silver outlook on 2020, it may be helpful to look at the golden price drivers. As we mentioned before, even though silver is more volatile of the two precious metals, is often traded relative tandem with gold. So, I'm going to go into the price prediction because this video is pretty long and I want to make it I don't want to make it too long. So anyways, silver price forecast 2020 and beyond, is it set to skyrocket or fall? When thinking on how high silver will go by 2020, expert opinions have split in two. In his interviews with Palisade Research in 2017 and Kitco in 2018, Keith said the white metal has potential to reach the $130 level. In the past, we've gave even more bold predictions suggesting silver could reach $1,000. Although many analysts and investors do believe that the price of silver is set to rally, none of the experts expect a three-digit increase. For example, September 11, 2019, Bank of Montreal visited a forecast of both gold and silver through 2022, and the precious metal analyst Collins said he's firm in bullish precious metals, but they're falling over each other to ease monetary policy. Added, in our view, this should provide support for gold and silver to trade for a sustained period above our long-run equilibrium expectations. So in its updated forecast, the bank suggests silver prices breaching $20 an ounce to fourth quarter and around $19.90 an ounce. For 2020, silver expectations are $18.60 an ounce, which is almost 21% higher from the previous forecasts. RBC Bank also increased its price forecast for the second semester of 2019, $17.33 an ounce compared to the previously $15.75. And regarding its long-term predictions, silver is expected to trade at $17.50 per ounce in 2020. But they're missing, and it goes on to more predictions as well. This is a lot of different predictions. If you guys want to keep checking out this video, keep reading it, the link will be in the description. I think silver is definitely going to break $20 in 2020, especially because the 2020 presidential election. It talked about how economic insecurity, how economic fear is so easily manipulated and swayed in prices, and that's definitely going to be a lot of riots, a lot of chaos, a lot of controversy, which single-handedly could push prices higher. I mean, look how much the U.S.-China trade negotiations push prices. Imagine the 2020 presidential election. There's a single tweet from President Trump can send prices flying, so I can't imagine something as big as that. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Link will be in the description. Let's see if this video can get 100 likes. If so, I'd greatly appreciate it. You guys are the best. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'd love to hear your price predictions. Also remember the unknown factors, the unknown variables that we have to also incorporate, things that we don't know will be happening because we don't have a crystal ball. A lot of people don't really think about that part. But anyways, thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.